I'd like your assistance with this investigation.
Paimon, what do you think, Traveler?
Yet. There are some places I'd like to investigate first, so you to go back to where we first met up. According to your accounts, you encountered the ghost. I believe there may still be some clues there.
Do we really have to go?
Are you worried that she'll be waiting for us? If anything, that would make things easier. My worry is that we won't be able to find her. Honestly, it'd save me a lot of trouble if she were to show up. The more cases you see, the less afraid you become. Let's go. This should be approximately where you first encountered the ghost. Of course, we cannot conclude whether the woman is actually a ghost or not at this, but I'd like to go over everything that happened again. Do you recall anything?
Let Paimon think. She warned us not to go near her, and she said if we didn't leave, our souls would become trapped here. Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to remember that moment. Paimon's shivering just thinking about it.
And then what happened?
Then, everything seemed to get darker, and Paimon started to feel dizzy. There were ghostly flames flickering all around, and
It's possible, but I'm more interested in what she's actually trying to achieve than what she is. Even if she is a ghost, as long as she possesses some sense of reason, then there must be some purpose behind.
wasn't she after our souls? She said that herself.
I think she was just trying to scare you.
Oh, you think so?
Think about it. If I had the ability to take your souls, then why go to the trouble of warning you over and over again? Besides, a ghost wouldn't have allowed you to walk away knowing about the secret of its powers.
That does make sense. Huh. Why didn't Paimon think of that?
I believe there are only two possibilities. The first is that she wanted to reap your souls, but there was some condition that had to be met. You know, like what we usually call a curse. But if you had really been cursed, then you would probably have noticed it by now. So, this is the less likely scenario. I believe she was just trying to scare you away.
But why would she want to scare us away? Oh, Paimon knows! Maybe she was trying to get us to quit so she could claim the Test of Courage prizes! Probably not. So why does she want to scare us? Do you have any ideas, Hazel?
Based solely on your account, I don't believe she actually meant any harm. She just didn't want you to stay here. But this evidence alone is insufficient to make any valid assumptions. She could very well be guarding some treasure or covering up a crime. Though, my intuition is telling me that neither of these hypotheses are correct. Let's continue investigating the surrounding area.
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Have you found any leads yet?
Yeah, some tree branches seem like they were bent by something, but that's about it.
I see. After you left, I took a good look around the area. Aside from the bent branches, there are burn marks in some places, but if only there was some more conclusive evidence.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's you guys! We heard you were out searching for clues, and we... Oh, that's real...
Actually, we're also really unsure about what's We just asked the members of Mr. Ito's gang about what happened to them. And it sounded that lady is either a nasty evil spirit or a formidable yokai. But we still want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival. Uh-huh.
We long admired the friendship between Lord Kamai and the samurai, which is why we want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival, to return the favor we once received from the humans. Even though our powers are limited, we don't want this bond of friendship to vanish. The Mikawa Flower Festival is meant to be enjoyable for everyone.
The Chinju Forest covers a large area, so it'd be great to have... Welcome to the team. Let's all do our best to figure...
Don't worry, we're very familiar with the area. We...
Surrender!
Huh? What is it?
Is it a scrap of black cloth? Shade cloth?
Yeah. It can effectively block out light and is used in a variety of settings, including stage performances. There's a rough tear in the cloth, probably caused by a sharp...
Branches?
Suppose that a large shade cloth was originally hung from a tree, bending the branches. When the shade cloth was removed from the tree, perhaps one of the corners caught and the branches ripped it, causing a small piece of black cloth to... Either she didn't care, or she was in too great a hurry. Perhaps she had...
But why would she hang shade cloth in the trees?
I'm only speculating. Maybe she used it to create the atmosphere you... I'd like to investigate the place where the Arataki gang encountered her.
Oh, I know the way. I asked the gang members where their encounter with the ghost happened when we were chatting earlier.
Good. Please lead the way. Let's go find out what's going on.
This is the place. They claimed that as they passed through here, the area suddenly grew dark, and some ghost...
Huh. What a coincidence. We saw the very same thing.
Let's start by taking a look around the area, just as we did before.
I found some sort of smashed ball, and the inside of it looks like it was blackened by smoke. There's some strange powder in the cracks of these... I picked some up.
Judging from the burn marks left on the scene, the ghostly flames you saw were not created by yokai power. Rather, they appear to have been caused by something...
Similar scare tactics. And she didn't have... I believe we're closing in on the truth now. I'm almost certain that the woman you encountered... She possesses no extraordinary powers. She was merely scaring people with some small props she had...
Some small props? But...
First and foremost, the test of courage contributed to the unsettling atmosphere here. You were initially frightened by your first encounter with these three yokai, and then shortly after, you ran into... Because you were already tensed up, you were breathing more. That's when she pulled down the shade cloth.
So, it was all just... she tricked us!
There is, however, still one... That couldn't have been accomplished by just a few small props.
Oh, Paimon...
She can only use props to scare people in the forest, but she can use strange power.
Whoa, that was fast!
If we rule out the potential of organized crime, then only one possibility. I know who the woman is. Let's go to the...
We'll come along too.
No. You should go back and tell the others not to be afraid and not waste their time searching the forest. The truth has surfaced. It's time to put an end to all the...
Okay, but please be careful. If you run into any danger, simply call...
There shouldn't be any danger. Let's search along the cliffside. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a chunk of earth that's unlike the others.
I knew it. I knew that you would come find me here.
There she is. Paimon thought you were a yokai like the others, but they said they never seen you before. So, who are you? And why did you try to scare us?
I have already warned you never to speak to me. If you don't leave now, then...
She's terrifying! Hazel, it sure doesn't seem like she's using any props this time!
Don't move. Just trust me. Your yokai power won't scare us. It will only hasten your demise.
Yokai power?
Huh? How did you know?
You're a yokai that emerged from an object and assumed a human form outside of your own body. When this type of yokai is close to its own body, it can use some yokai power, but that ability weakens as it moves further away. And if the original body is destroyed, then the yokai that originated from it will likewise perish. Should I refer to you as a Hagoita spirit or Tsukumo Gami?
Don't bother. You may call me Hanyuda Chizuru. That is the name I go by now.
Chizuru, why do you want us to leave? If you're a yokai, you should understand why the other yokai want to interact with humans. Besides, we had a great time playing Akitsu Yugen together, didn't we? Just like the story of Kaman.
Yes. That's why. That's why I don't want you to be sad too.
Sad?
I'm sure the yokai have already told you of the story